All right. So, welcome back to another episode of Paranormal Legends Podcast. And it's me, your host, James, aka Assassin. You already know. If you don't, read up about me. Well, I hope that didn't come off as too arrogant or whatever. I don't mean it like that, but I'm just a cool dude all the way around. Um, so on this episode of Paranormal Legends, we are going to talk about everything supernatural. Okay? Now, when I say supernatural, I'm talking about vampires, werewolves, dog people, um, the kids with the black eyes and the gray hoodies. Uh, then you got chupacabras, you got the kukui, like it's so many things. It's so many things that can be considered supernatural. And of course, I can't forget the most famous UFOs, okay? Like it's so many things that can be considered supernatural. Like it's really endless. Um but yeah, I got a special treat for you guys today. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break down vampires and I'm gonna break down werewolves, okay? Now, for those who have seen the Underworld series, and if you're like me and you like them type of movies, you thought it was dope. So yeah, it's only right if I'm gonna discuss vampires, I might as well just sit here and discuss werewolves as well. Okay, I'm gonna try not to get too into it because I actually have a story from a very close friend, basically my business partner, about when he was younger and he was in Texas and he had a run in. He actually had a run in with a werewolf. So uh I haven't listened to the story myself, but I am anxious to hear it. I am anxious to hear it. So let's go ahead and get it started. Well, before I get it started, if you would like any of your experiences, if you have any questions for me or anything like that, you can send it to paranormallegends@gmail.com. I repeat, that's paranormallegends@gmail.com. And I will be happy to read, go over your stories with the masses, and give my input on them. Um, and as I said before, if you want to remain anonymous, that's cool. I would not mention your name, but if you would like for people to know who you are and you would like for people to know that you went through that, whatever the case may be, then that's cool too. You know what I'm saying? There's no pressure. There's no pressure at all. Okay, so vampires. All right. Now, when I say vampires, I'm not talking about the vampires in the movies. I'm not talking about this vampire. I'm not talking about that vampire. I'm talking about actual vampires, okay? I'm talking about the vampires that existed in Romania back in the day. And actually in Greece too. So listen, I'm gonna start it like this. Hold on, let me take a sip of my drink. And thank you for those who are tuning in with me tonight. A lovely Saturday night. Hopefully you got the weekend off, but if you don't, it's all good. Get that money. Get that money, build your foundation. That's the most important thing, kings and queens. Build your foundation, okay? Family comes first. Your foundation comes first. Don't let anybody tell you differently. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this started off. Now, vampires, okay? So the first vampire started out as not a vampire at all, but as a human man named Ambrosio. I hope I'm saying that right. He was an Italian-born adventurer who fate brought him to Delphi in Greece. I'm not going to get into the full story, but through some blessings as well as some curses, it transformed this young man into history's first vampire, according to Greek mythology. Specifically, it began with the sun god Apollo, who in a fit of rage cursed Ambrosio so that his skin would burn should it ever touch sunlight again. Ambrosio's bad luck followed when he ended up gambling his soul away to Hades, the god of the underworld. The next curse came via Apollo's sister, Artemis, the goddess of the moon and hunting. who made it so Ambrosio's skin would burn if he ever touched Silver. Artemis began to start to feel pity shortly after on Ambrosio. She gave him the gift of immortality. In addition to the gift of immortality, he was also gifted superhuman speed and strength to aid him in hunting. Blood sucking, by the way, which is called hematophagy, is also included in this blessing. In the original vampire story, Ambrosio hunts swan and used their blood as ink to write love poems to his lady Selene. In ancient Greek, it was common to use the blood from your hunt to make dew. Ambrosio later migrated to Italy where he formed the first vampire clan. Now see, this story right here is new to me because anytime I would hear anything about vampires, the first thing that would pop up in my head is Vlad the Impaler, Vladimir the Pesh, okay? Dracul, right? The original Dracula, right? Now, Vladimir the Pesh, aka Vlad the Impaler, he was a warlord to be feared. When I say to be feared, like I heard dude was gruesome. Like he was crazy. He was the hardest doing it. You feel me? He got his name the Impaler from placing people who dared to oppose him on pikes in front of his castle. So imagine that. Imagine that. Imagine back in the day, you got beef. You got beef with another civilization. Soon as you roll up to the castle, you see other clans or civilizations that has opposed him, and he has their bodies on pikes in front as decoration. Yeah, he was nice. He was nice. But yeah. Now, everybody know vampires' weaknesses, okay? Silver, of course. They hate silver, and as the story said, that's one of the curses that was given according to Greek mythology. Now, silver, yeah. Sunlight, yeah. I mean, everybody has watched a vampire movie in some shape, form, or fashion, right? Now, the thing is, I really can't speak too much on vampires. I see YouTube videos circulating around about people who supposedly have vampiric abilities. But as far as hardcore evidence, and hey, you never know, the stuff that I watch might be hardcore evidence. I just don't know for sure. Like we never know for sure what we see on the internet. We don't know if it's legit or if it's staged. Like that's the crazy part about it. But yeah, vampires I believe are real. Somewhere out there, they are real. They are. Now let's go on to werewolves. Now, everybody should know what a werewolf is. A werewolf is a man or a woman who can change into a wolf at any given time, right? And there has been plenty of movies about werewolves. Now, whether you believe in werewolves or not, I mean, that's your tea. Whatever your tea is, that's what you sip. But I really don't put anything past anything anymore because it's still a good chunk of our ocean that we haven't explored yet, you know. But that's for a whole nother episode. I would touch into everything as far as aquatic creatures and everything like that. But let's go ahead and get this werewolf thing started, okay? So, the earliest surviving example of man to wolf transformation is found in the Epic of Gilgamesh from around 2100 BC. However, the werewolf as we know it first appeared in ancient Greece and Rome in the ethnographic, poetic, and philosophical texts. These stories of the transformed beast are usually mythological, although some have bases in local histories, religions, and cults. In 425 BC, Greek historian Herodotus described the Nuri, a nomadic tribe of magical men who changed into wolf shapes for several days of the year. Dainuri was from Scythia, land that is now part of Russia. Using wolf skins for warmth is not outside the realm of possibility for inhabitants of such harsh climates. This is likely the reason Herodotus described their practice as transformation. The werewolf myth became integrated with local history of Arcadia, a region of Greece. Here, Zeus was worshipped as Lycan Zeus. In 380 BC, Greek philosopher Plato told a story in the Republic about the protector turned tyrant. In this short passage, the character Socrates remarks, the story goes that he who tastes the one bit of human entrails mixed up with those of other victims is inevitably transformed into a wolf. Now, with that being said, I actually, as I told you before, my homie Jermaine, he actually had a run-in with what he believes was a werewolf. So I'm gonna go ahead and let him tell the story. He submitted this story, I want to say last week sometime, and I'm gonna go ahead and play it for y'all, and we're just gonna see what happens. Okay, we're just gonna see what happens. I'm ready to hear what happens, so I'm gonna just go ahead and play it.
Yo, what's good, man? Thank you for having me on your show. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start my story to you like this. I'm originally from Portsmouth, Virginia. Uh, my mom's moved me to Texas when I was 2 years old. Uh, we first lived a number of years in a place called Beaumont, Texas. Beaumont, Texas, pretty interesting place. Most people might know it just from the movie Footloose. You know what I'm saying? But it was a little bit more than that. Um, where we lived in the outskirts, if you will, where most of the blacks lived. From my memory, uh, and where we lived in this apartment building, and it was next to a highway. And where we was at, it was hardly any lights. It was like two lights, uh, one down the street and one in front of the apartment building. So that's the only light you had. And so when we as kids played, you know what I'm saying? Particularly myself, when I was allowed to play outside when it got dark, we tended to only play in the light, where the light is, because anywhere else it was super dark. So you couldn't even see your hand. You know what I'm saying? Um, so we stayed in the lighted areas. Okay, now around this time, now this is like the close to the middle of the 80s. You know what I'm saying? It's like 84, 85. You know what I'm saying? And I would normally be, when it gets dark, a little bit dark or whatever, I would go upstairs, because I lived on the upstairs, and would start drawing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Kid across the way he would come outside. You know what I'm saying? He would draw with me or whatever, or we'll play with our action figures. Um, this particular day, or should I say night, I see a puppy. I just talked to my mom about getting a dog, and she was gonna let me get a dog. I see this puppy running. I damn run downstairs. You know what I'm saying? And It goes to the side of the building. I just want to see it. I want to pet it. So, get downstairs, and of course, it disappears in the dark. Now, I'm not afraid of the dark, but it's just dark. I'm just not going after this puppy, but I'm trying to call it. I'm trying to call this puppy. The puppy ain't coming back into the light. So, but I hear something. You know what I'm saying? Something moving. It's like a big void. So, wasn't thinking about it. I'm just moving a little closer because I hear the puppy. And then I hear the puppy sort of like, I don't know what you call it, a yelp, but it made a sound like it got hit or something. So I'm still trying to call it, and before I knew it, I'm really hearing something like move, like something heavy, huge. You know what I'm saying? I'm smelling like old meat, if it will. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, like you ever had like some, some ground beef out? If you ever smelled that before, where it just been out for a long period of time or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Where it was like almost rotting, almost. So, and now I'm hearing a growl. So now, of course, you know what I'm saying, growing up in this era of the 80s, if you will, cartoons had some dope meanings, you know what I'm saying? It had some dope stuff at the end of them, or even on the cartoons, whatever, where it'll tell you like, G.I. Joe, knowing this is half the battle and things of that nature. Okay, so I know from the many different cartoons, you don't run from dogs. You back up with your hands to show that you're not a threat. So I'm backing up, walking backwards slowly. You know what I'm saying? And I'm hearing this thing sort of move. Now, beside the building, it's nothing but like a big ditch in back of the apartment building, but at the same time, it's like just grass. So I know all I'm hearing is just grass. You know what I'm saying? Something moving on the grass. So I'm just like walking backwards. I find the wall. I sort of just put my hand to sort of feel where I'm at, to feel the wall, because my plan was if this dang dog runs after me, I can run. Once I get to if I get to the the staircase, I could just climb in between, you know what I'm saying, and just run up the stairs. So that was my game plan. So I'm just walking backwards, walking backwards, walking backwards, walking backwards. And this thing is moving forward. It's not running, it's just moving forward towards me. And I'm walking backwards, walking backwards, walking backwards. Uh, right when as soon as I feel the stairs, I just jump right into the stairs, run up the stairs. I look back and I'm seeing this huge, huge, and I mean just huge dog. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like um, the way I could describe it was just the biggest thing I ever seen. I've never seen a dog like that huge. It was just it was mean. Um, and I caught eyes with it just when before I get to the top of the staircase, it's like this animal caught eyes, and the eyes was like, it was like something I never seen before. It was yellowish, but it was like it was just strange, just looking into his eyes, and it was like, it was almost like saying, like it was almost talking to me, but it wasn't saying nothing. And I just ran right into the apartment, and I locked the door. I quickly get a chair. I look out the peephole, and I'm just looking. I saw this huge dog, or you know what I say, it was a wolf, and the wolf runs off. Now, mind you, some of the kids that played, there was these two Hispanic kids, and I remember they were riding with another kid, so it was a total of three. Three Hispanic kids, two of them are brothers. We used to race them all the time. They they were riding their bikes down the street. That's where this wolf ran to, down the street. Now, if I get you in a picture of like how this street looks, it's like this is a very rural looking area. So the only thing you have is like this apartment, and I can't remember how far, but I know it was far enough to where there's a gas station, which is much further down. Um, I mean, it takes a while to get there walking wise, so a lot of us would just ride our bikes. You know what I'm saying? If we was gonna go to the store or whatever, and so you talking about there's nothing, literally nothing. You know what I'm saying? For a while, when you're in this area, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, there was two lights. Once you hit that, it's like, I remember one road was a dirt road. I can't remember exactly where that went to. Uh, but once you hit that second, when you get to that second light, you know what I'm saying? The first light is in front of the apartment building. The second light, you have one way going to a dirt road, and then you have another route that's going down the road. And in mind, both of these roads are just ridiculously dark. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing, like literally nothing near it. You know what I'm saying? So, and saying that, you know what I'm saying? Two of the boys that was riding their bikes uh, was missing. One of the boys went home, but as far as the brothers were concerned, the two brothers, they found the bikes, they found a shoe, and if I remember right, they found some clothing. You know what I'm saying? Ripped up, blood. You know what I'm saying? But no body. Um, to go along with that, you know what I'm saying? To go along with that, you mean when they really start questioning, people in the area, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Nobody ain't really like listen to, the everything. I mean, I told them, you know what I'm saying? I saw like a huge dog, you know what I'm saying, in the area. Nobody didn't want to believe it. Some people were saying it was a bear, you know what I'm saying? Um, but around that time there was a lot of people coming up missing. And because that was going on, I mean, you know, My mom, she didn't think about it at first. You know what I'm saying? As far as getting out of there, what made my mom want to move was when the little boy that I was used to play with on up top on the top of the staircase with, you know what I'm saying, where we was staying next to or whatever, our neighbors. Um, when my mom would go to work at night, she would watch us. Now it's different from the '80s, you know what I'm saying? Because all I could stay in my apartment and she just come over or whatever, whatever. I ain't had to go over there, you know what I'm saying? So it was one of those things. We were doing what we doing. We're playing top of the staircase. We, you know, drawing and things of that nature. Door wide open, of course. You know what I'm saying? This and that, this and that. Okay. See, his mother decides to she's gonna go to the store, you know what I'm saying? She gonna get us some chips, whatever, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I think she was going to the store, get some cigarettes. All right. So she's walking. So we automatically know it's gonna take a little while for her to get back from the store because she's walking. But we wasn't thinking about that. We're kids. You know what I'm saying? Um, Before we knew it, his father come home. His father normally time comes home pretty late. You know what I'm saying? So we're just sitting outside. We just living it up. The father was like, "Hey, what are y'all still doing outside?" You know, we said where his wife was went to or whatever, whatever. He was like, you know, it was kind of strange. Uh, You know what I'm saying? Because just for the fact, I mean, we was like, yeah, she should have been back by now. You know what I'm saying? But we was just like, we didn't think nothing about it. I mean, we just little kids. We playing with our toys and things of that nature. And you know what I'm saying? We selfishly talking about we want some chips or whatever, whatever. You know, um, before we knew it, I'm inside, you know what I'm saying? And that very morning, cops is all at the house and, at the apartment and, they talking to the little boy, and they start talking to me, you know what I'm saying? And, and they're doing this, they're basically trying to find his mother, you know what I'm saying? And she didn't come back, you know what I'm saying? And then they find once again, didn't find the body. They found her pocketbook, no money taken, no nothing, just everything basically, you know what I'm saying? A couple of things is out of the pocketbook or whatever, whatever, you know what I'm saying? They later will find her shorts, you know what I'm saying? And that was it. You know what I'm saying? Like this around this time, man. I mean, you talking about there was multiple upon multiple missing persons going on with similar stories like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you talking about literally there's like you're seeing their belongings or whatever, and it's like they just getting snatched up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, um, some of the stories was always similar. You know what I'm saying? Where you have situations like the one I had, which I was talking and seeing about this huge dog, but like I said, I call it a wolf. So you know, it still bothers me because but at the same time, it made me, for some reason, like really start loving anything dealing with werewolves. Like I wanted to learn everything possible about them. So, and once I started looking into where they start saying the real accounts of werewolf sightings, and when I started looking into a lot of the stories was very similar to mine. You know what I'm saying? Very similar to mine. We're talking about the eyes, the size, the the movements, the and the smell. Every story was consistent with what I had. You know what I'm saying? With my story. So you know, I got. That's my experience. You know what I'm saying? As a little kid, I had one when I was a little bit older. You know what I'm saying? But I'll hit you up with that again. You know what I'm saying? But appreciate you again for having me on the show to tell my story, whatever, man. And peace, man.
Peace, 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 King. Most def, man. I appreciate you sharing that story with me and the rest of the world. That's phenomenal though. That is really phenomenal. Like I can't really imagine going through anything like that at that age. Like that's really crazy. Like that's really crazy. And I can honestly say I'm kind of jealous. I'm kind of jealous that I didn't have an experience like that. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm not jealous, but I am jealous. You feel me? But that's dope, man. As far as when the situation first happened, you went downstairs to the side and you know what I'm saying, the dog. First and foremost, I ain't look, listen, I'm an animal person, bro. You know me. Jermaine, you know me. I'm an animal person. But I am not. I repeat, I am not gonna chase a dog into the dark like that. Well, now I will. Now I will. But when I was a kid, hell no. Ain't no way. Nope. 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 Not gonna happen. Nope. Cause bro, like seriously, you know what I'm saying? At that age, I think at that age we all was scared of the dark to some extent. We was all scared of the dark. So and then once I heard that little yep, yeah, it's a wrap, bro. I ain't got time. I would have been, I'm trying to tell you, I would have been, like, bro, I ain't got time, bro. I ain't got time. And then for you and your homie at the time to be sitting there just so carelessly, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, mom's been gone for a minute and he just sitting there, y'all asking for chips. I understand you a kid. You really don't think about stuff like that, but for that to really happen, like that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Whew, Jesus. Well, once again, I appreciate you sharing that story with us. I really do. You know what I'm saying? That's one for the books right there. That is really one for the books. So okay. Now I have an experience that I was like probably like 5 at the time. And I've actually told you about this one, Jermaine. I actually told you about this one. So I'm 5. I'm staying on Child Street, I believe, on Salisbury Street in Wadesburg. At this point, I was staying with my mom and her at the time boyfriend, Lamont, and I'm standing outside. I'm standing outside. Me and my sister, I believe. Me and my sister is standing outside, and at this point, it's like 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's still dark, right? So we're just standing out there. We're waiting on the little bus to come get us or whatever. Well, when I say little bus, you know what I mean, son. Don't play Don't play like, you know what I'm saying, I was on the short bus or something like that. I'm retarded, but I'm not retarded now. Let me stop playing. But but yeah, so I mean anybody who knows me, who really knows me, knows that I play too much. But yeah, so we're sitting there waiting on the bus to come pick us up. And out of nowhere, all we hear is bricks crumbling, and I hear this cry, like this war cry. Like it's very like it's like something you would hear in a movie. You know what I'm saying? I'm hearing bricks crumbling and all I'm hearing is roar. Like that's all I'm hearing. And it happened for like 2 or 3 minutes straight. Like literally, that's all I'm hearing. Bricks crumbling and this roar, roar. Like I ain't gonna lie, it scared the shit out of me. It really did. Like it really did. And you know, at that time I believe at that time my mom's boyfriend used to play Resident Evil all the time. So it would get to the point where, say, if it's raining outside and the limbs is hitting the window, here I am thinking there's zombies outside. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I already had that type of mind. And when I heard this, I'm telling you, it scared the hell out of me. So I got to school, I asked my friends, I was like, did y'all hear that this morning? Because I actually had some friends who stayed down the street from me. Down the street from me or whatever. But we're so young that, you know what I'm saying, of course, we caught, you know what I'm saying, the bus in different spots. But I had asked them if they heard what I heard. And one of my friends was telling me that while he was getting ready for school and he heard it in his house, he peeked out the window, and so his window basically faced the backyard. And as I said, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, it's still dark, right? So he look out the window and he see a pair of red eyes in the woods, right? Can't see nobody or anything like that. All he sees is these big red eyes just glaring, just like staring at him. And he said that they literally stayed there for like 10 minutes, right? Even as he got on the bus and they was going up the street, he could still see them red eyes peering from the woods. So I don't know, it sounds like a werewolf to me, to be honest. I don't know, but that's my experience with anything of that nature. Right? Because I'm telling you that like it's crazy. Like it's really crazy. And you know, I've heard some interesting stories on YouTube and everything about people with werewolves, but it's just crazy when you actually think that you don't have one, and then like you just remember that one time. You feel me? You remember that one time, and it just makes you think like, well, maybe I did have an experience with a werewolf. Like it's crazy. Um, but yeah, I mean, majority of the people, they really don't believe in werewolves or anything like that because they honestly think it's hogwash. You feel me? You got some people out here that believes that humans are the only thing that exists on this planet. Humans, okay? There's no such thing as Loch Ness monsters. There's no such thing as megalodons. There's no such thing as the kraken. There's no such thing as vampires, werewolves, dog people, skinwalkers, kids with black eyes, leprechauns. I mean, pretty much anything that fits that category. You know, and also UFOs. As I said before, UFOs. We've been told for over 50 years that Roswell, Area 51, the Grays, the first UFO crash didn't happen. And now, all of a sudden, they declassified it and said, yes, it happened. We lied to y'all. We lied to y'all for over 50 years. It really happened. So, the stuff that you catching on camera is actually legit. It's no weather balloons. It's none of that test flight shit. is really what it is, you know, and that's really crazy. I'm telling you, that is really crazy. Okay, and okay. So now that I told you about vampires and werewolves, right? Oh, also, this is something I didn't mention. Vampires, you can kill a vampire with a stake through the heart, okay? I didn't mention that. I'm sorry. I failed you. I have failed you. But you can kill a vampire with a stake through the heart, you know? Werewolves, I believe is garlic. Garlic and yeah, garlic and silver. Silver as well, which is crazy. Yeah, garlic and silver. Um but yeah, so another another thing is like let's talk about skinwalkers, okay? Let's talk about skinwalkers and dog people, right? Now, skinwalkers and dog people have been described in numerous ways, right? Now, I've done heard many, and I mean many stories of skinwalkers. Okay? Now, look, the skinwalker is an ancient Native American legend that takes on various forms across tribes. In Navajo, in Navajo lore, a skinwalker is a kind of wicked sorcerer who can transform into, occupy, and disguise themselves as an animal. So, not a werewolf per se. He can pretty much just turn into anything. You know, anything that will make him killing you more easy. And like it's crazy to know that stuff like that could exist. You feel me? It's crazy to really know that stuff like that could exist. Um, and if you're like me, I mean, sky's the limit. Sky's really the limit. So I can't really sit here and say, you know what I'm saying? I really can't sit here and say that certain things don't exist because I don't know. Okay? So I don't put anything past anything. You know what I'm saying? If somebody tell me that, oh, I seen I seen a 10-foot owl. I seen a 10-foot owl flying through the sky. Who am I to say that person is lying? Because I would really look like an asshole if a couple months down the line, maybe a year or two, I see that same motherfucking owl. And now I gotta go back to the person that told me this after I done told him, man, bro, you tripping, bro. After I done told him that, I gotta go right back to that same person and tell him I seen it too, which is gonna make me look like an asshole and dumb, you know. So I always put it to where, I mean, anything is possible. Literally, anything is possible. Okay. Um, now, dog people. Now, dog people are just, it's a human body. It's a person who has a human body, but has a dog head, right? Similar to a werewolf. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, you gotta think about it. All these urban legends just have different names. You know what I'm saying? Just depending on what side of the country it stems from, right? But yeah, there's actually been accounts of dog people, and you know, it's really crazy. It's really crazy that when you hear about it, you don't believe it until one of your relatives tells you a story. And as I said in the last podcast, some of the stories I've heard from my relatives, especially my elders, like they're mind blowing. And it's like it gets me to the point where I'm like, I would really love to experience that, but at the same time, I'm good. And at the same time, I'm good. I mean, but you gotta understand. I mean, I myself, I told y'all, I ghost hunt, so it's not really too much that scares me. But once I tell you once I tell you them stories, you're gonna be like, nah, nah, ain't no way. I'm good on that. I'm good. I'm good. But all right. So the kids with black eyes. Now this is a story. This is a story that really got me to the point where I was like, so I really gotta watch everything. I really gotta watch everything. So so the story goes like this. Kids with black eyes, nobody really knows who they are or where they come from or what their purpose is on earth, right? You know what I'm saying? And it's like all the accounts that I've heard all keeps the same exact routine or chain of events. Like it's been accounts where people would get off of work late at night and you know what I'm saying, they'll see a little child outside their window with a hoodie on, head down. And it's either asking for a ride somewhere, asking to use the phone, or anything like that. Now, legend says that they can't forcefully get into your car or your residence. But if you let them in, that's when they do damage. That's when they kill you, per se. Now, I really can't say that's exactly what they're gonna do because if somebody did let them in, then I'm pretty sure they're not here to tell it. So yeah, but yeah. So just as in warning. Now everything I'm covering, I will go back and do additional research so I can really fully inform you on the urban legend. But anytime you see a little kid and it's late at night, like come on, no little kid should be out, late at night, especially with a hoodie. Come on, ain't no way. You feel me? But yeah, if you ever run into anything like that, do not, I repeat, do not open your doors. Do not give them permission to come inside. Okay? Because without your permission, they can't do nothing. They literally can't do nothing without your permission. Now, I'm telling you, they will be persistent. They will be persistent in trying to get you to agree to help them or get you to open their house to them. They will be persistent, but you definitely can't let that happen. Like, definitely, you cannot let that happen at all. Okay, so, all right. Now, let's get into some of these aquatic supernatural things, right? Now, the one that I've always been fascinated with is the Kraken. Okay, now the Kraken is supposed to be this massive, and I mean massive, like a giant squid with 100-foot tentacles and like just big enough to swallow up a whole ship, right? That's the Kraken. Now, my thing is, it's really crazy that there's so many accounts back in the pirate days. I mean, cause you had accounts of the Kraken, you had accounts of Hydra. Hydra is the sea serpents, basically. If you ever seen Hercules, the sea serpent that every time he cut one head off, three grow into place. Yeah, that's the Hydra. So yeah, I mean you got different accounts of Hydras, uh, nymphs, uh, also sirens, mermaids, and everything. Like it's really so much. Let me check the time. Okay, yeah, like it's really so much I wanna share with y'all, but I don't want to make this too extensive. I really don't. So I'm gonna just go ahead and cut it short here. And as I said, if you have any, and I mean any experiences, please feel free to email them to paranormallegends@gmail.com. I repeat, that's paranormallegends@gmail.com. Now, for my first week, it's cool. I mean, it's been people asking about the podcast and everything. So I'm guessing pretty soon, probably the next 2 weeks, I will have a live event for y'all. I will have a live event. As long as I get at least 20 people watching, I'm cool with that. And beforehand, I will let you know, if you haven't yet, you can join a group at Paranormal Legends on Facebook, okay? So Paranormal Legends Society, Paranormal Legends Society on Facebook. And there you will find the YouTube links, you will find discussions. I'm constantly asking questions. I mean, I see a whole lot of people view, but they really don't participate like that, and that's cool, because I understand. Sometimes people have to warm up to it. People really can't just jump out there and tell what they've been through, because a whole lot of people are not comfortable with it, and that's cool. I don't mind. Take your time. And if you're just here to listen and, you know what I'm saying, gain some knowledge, that's cool too. But yeah, I appreciate everybody who has tuned in. I appreciate all the love and support. And as I said, if you want anything read, if you want a question answered or anything like that, then just email it to me and I will get to it. I promise you that. Everybody have a good night and stay safe.